which ones. I mean, I would say out of all the three players, the guy that is going to probably struggle the most is Deonte Banks, because it's hard to play cornerback position in the league. Although I really do like what Deonte Banks, cornerback out of Maryland, that you guys drafted. It was like 25th pick. I like how didn't you guys trade up for him, correct? Is that?
But and I think he's the perfect fit for the kind of defense we like to run, where we play a lot of man to man. Wink Martindale, if you remember from his time with the
Yeah.
Ravens, has always been a really aggressive defensive coordinator, and he kind of leaves his cornerback out on an island. So I do agree. I could see Banks, struggling and having, some rookie mistakes where he might get burned at times. But I think part of the reason they like him is they said he has the memory of a goldfish. So he's gonna forget the bad plays and not let it affect him going forward. So I think John Michael Schmitz is a bona fide starter no matter what. He's going to start at center for the New York Giants. Um, I think he could struggle a little bit as a rookie as well, just because if you look at the NFC East, there's some
Yeah.
serious monsters on the defensive line. Like the Eagles have, they have Cox, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter they drafted this year. Not Redskins. The Washington Commanders have Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. So those are the kind of guys he's going to be going up against. So he's not used to that type of talent playing at Minnesota in college. So I think it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment, but I think those two guys, Banks and Schmitz, are definitely going to start. And I can see Jalen Hyatt as a backup, kind of getting some reps each game, and then his role kind of increasing as the season goes on.
Well, and the thing that I like the most about Deonte Banks is the measurables that he has to play cornerback. This guy is, I believe it's like 6'1". He ran really I did a lot of draft coverage on each player this year. I don't have the numbers up in front of me. I probably should have done a better job at that. But from what I believe, or what I got earlier on, and when I was covering this guy, is, I mean, his 40 time is really, really good as well. So it's like he's a guy who has length. He has a good 40 time, has really good technique. A lot of time when you see him on film, good at pushing the players towards the sideline and just creating this like he limits receivers and how they can run routes, if you know what I'm saying, because he's so good with his hands off of the line of scrimmage and pushing a guy to where he wants to go. He has strength, length, speed. To me, I ranked him the third best cornerback in the draft, even over Gonzalez, because that's just how much I like him. He had, in my opinion, more competition than Gonzalez. He played in a really good conference with Ohio State guys. He played against guys like that Maryland game, if you recall that Maryland game, I don't know if you cover college football much, but when they played Ohio State last year, it was close. They almost beat Ohio State, and he was playing guys like Jackson Smith-Njigba, good receivers that. Oh, and the other guy that he was covering was what's his name? Marvin Harrison Jr., one of the best receivers that is going to come out of college in a few years. And so and he had a pretty good game against that team. He actually had a good PFF grade. So I mean, this guy really checks all the boxes as far as production goes and just length and technique. I think he's one of the best technique players in the draft, and he's perfect size as well. So
To my ears, like I think that they really hit a home run with that pick. Not only does he have the athleticism, like you said, he has the technique, but he fits our defense perfectly. And
right.
then if you look at the division, who do you got to knock off in the NFC East? It's the Eagles. And the strength on offense is not only can Jalen Hurts run the football, but he has two number one receivers on the
Right.
outside. He has AJ Brown and and Smith. So Brown, you want a bigger cornerback that can actually keep up with him. I think Deonte Banks eventually is going to have to match up with AJ Brown. And then we have a Dory Jackson who's considered our number one cornerback right now, who I think is a very good football player. I wouldn't put him as a bona fide number one cornerback, but we do have two good corners with Banks and Jackson, and I think our slot cornerback position is a little bit of a weakness, but we hopefully will improve upon last year.